Hey, y'all. Let me post this on the other page. If y'all feel like anybody wants to watch on Instagram, y'all can share it on there. Yeah, I know my lives are sporadic, not planned. And let's see, let me go in here and post this. And then we're going to get started. Because I'm actually tired, y'all. I've had a long day. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's go live. Right, we have that. Let me post this and then we'll be good. All right, y'all. Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing? I was about to sound like Leslie, but I can't say what he says on here. All right, so today I'm going to do a little bit of kind of preparing for tomorrow. So I figure I can show y'all, like, I kind of make lists for the next day ahead, and then we can probably do a quick journal page, possibly. Going to show you how I use sticky notes sometimes, and then we can just chat and see what you have going on. And why am I? Oh, okay. Let's see. Do y'all still see me fine? Because I feel like I am rotating. Just let me know in the comments if you can hear me talking, because I don't know if it is me. So it may be me. All right. So yeah, I had a long day, got all the orders out, updated the website today. I put a blog on there, said I'm gonna start adding some blogs on there. It's not gonna be my monetized blog per se on that part, but I want to get back in the routine of blogging, y'all, because I used to blog. And so I did a little starter blog on there, so you can check that out. All right, so like I said, we're just going to kind of jot down more of a brain dump, right? So we already did our brain dump for the top of the week. Yeah, I have to take certain stuff out because I have a lot of stuff in this. So we have our brain dump for the top of this week. And then what you can do is, if you don't want to pull out your planner per se, I think I mentioned to somebody, you can just do a list making, like, okay, this is what I need to do tomorrow. I had a list earlier. Let me see if I can show y'all. I gotta make sure there's nothing on here that you can't see. Yeah. So this is one where I just jotted things down. So this was for today, right? I didn't have my planner open. I didn't have anything. I checked stuff off. And I was like, okay, so pretty much I completed everything except a photograph and a stage thing. So that was my list for the day. And then I was taking notes inside of this notebook when I was doing certain things, and that's what kept me on track. I didn't have no cute planner in front of me. It wasn't pretty with no stickers. And most times a lot of people will be like, oh, your handwriting is always neat. So y'all just saw that other sheet of paper. It was like, okay, girl, you got stuff to do. All that cutesy stuff, we don't have time for it. So that's what was on there. So what I'll do on this one, tomorrow is May 13th. Oh, it is. Oh, man. Okay. So tomorrow's May 13th. So I'm just going to jot down the date. And so this is going to end up being like my rough sketch for tomorrow. I might make it still a little cute today, just because, you know, we on here show you how to do some stuff. All right. So tomorrow's May 13th. And so this will be pretty much my to-do list in the event I don't want to pull out a plan. And right now, I don't want to pull out a plan. All right, so this will be May 13th. What now? All right. So I have a couple of things I know off the top of my head. So tomorrow I know I have therapy. All right. I also have a Zoom meeting. That's at 11 a.m. And so what you see, y'all, it's not necessarily going to be in order, right? Because I still treat this kind of like a brain dump. I'm just saying, okay, girl, what is it that you need to do tomorrow? And so it's not going to be in order. Don't want it in order. Don't need it in order. I just need to know, what do you need to do tomorrow? So I need to print, need to print a shipping label. For my cousin. All right, so I know that those are some things I need to pay my car note tomorrow and insurance. All right, and so then another thing you can do as well, yeah, sure, we're going down here, but can we look over here and see, is there anything that we have completed on this list? And if it is, that'll also, again, if you're not using your planner this week and you're letting this be like, this is what I want to look at, you can go and say, have I finished anything off of here, right? So I've already done that. I did that. Did that. And this allows you to see that you're actually getting things done. Often, a lot of people will not check back in with their list, their goals, and it's like, how do you know if you're making moves? You can write a list all day long. It can be cute all day long. But if you're not getting anything done, it's kind of pointless, right? Yes, we photograph for the photos and we stage the photos, but you still want to get things done. All right, so have not ordered the office chair yet. Transfer shipping funds, we did that. Adjust inventory, we did that. Did not do that. Go live on in Facebook. I haven't gone live in Facebook yet. And release new prompts. We're going to talk about that in a second. Transfer prompts to Shopify. We did that. So let's see. We did this. I've done that. Did that. All right, so as you see, some things are getting done on here. So that is going to be your goal of keeping a list. You want to see, what am I getting done? If you need to transfer anything. So now we can look at, okay, we scratched off some things. What has not been scratched off? Is there anything off of this list that we can shift over here? So we have these two things right there. Is there anything from this work list that I want to do on here? And I do need to do a Patreon post tomorrow. All right, and so we have the card note on there. Make a grocery list. I don't feel like doing that tomorrow, so that's not gonna happen. And that's a start. Do I know that there's something else that I probably need to be doing? Absolutely. But because I'm doing this off of the fly, I'm not going to remember everything right now. So I will leave that right there. And so then what you can do on tomorrow, you have your list in front of you. Once you complete it, you check it off. If you need to write some notes in this section, you can. And you go from there. I think a lot of times when you're trying to become more productive, you're trying to get things done, often people overthink it. You're creating like busy work. You don't need to create any busy work. whatever are your top items, you put them on there. You can cross them out. If there's something else that you can do later, that's where you'll add that in. All right, so like I said, for sure, these are the biggest things that I'm going to do, because I'm going to work more on the salon stuff on Thursday. Oh, and I do need to film a video, y'all. Film a video. And then I need to download some more music. Download new music for videos. All right, and again, so this is all that I have. Now, of course, when I get off on here, if there's a couple of notes that I would need to add to this just so I would remember, I would go in with a different color and just put it so I can kind of know that that's something else in addition that I need to remember, right? So in one way I can show you that Zoom meeting at 11, I need to review the questions. And then I need to check my mic. All right, so that'll be there. And so I'll do that. This part right here, the review the questions, I'll just print those out tonight, go over that. I can also keep notes in here. I told y'all, like, this is my new jam. This is my new little notebook, my new toy, and I'm playing with it. So I've been actually writing it all day. Oh, speaking of which, I do want to highlight one thing on here because I've actually started it. But let's talk about the next. All right, so let's talk about the next set of journal prompts, which will actually be released. I'm looking at the calendar to my right-hand side. So those journal prompts will be released on the 15th, y'all. It's going to come out, and it's going to be a 30-day type of challenge, and it's going to be called Your Growing Pains, okay? So I already have a title. I've already started. Like, y'all know how I do with the journal prompts. You have your, your definitions and stuff, but this is going to be an interactive journal prompt. I'm really excited about this. It's going to be called Your Growing. Y'all, my pen is, I don't know if it's trying to run out or what, but I ain't liking it. Your Growing Pains. All right, and so what you're going to do, I'm just going to give you kind of a general idea because you're not going to know what the journal prompts are. But for this, you're going to pick one only, one goal that, and it doesn't mean that you're going to dismiss the goals that you're currently working on if that's something that you're doing, but you're going to choose one goal that you can commit to working on for 30 days. So from the 18th, which is a Monday, May 18th, until June 18th, there may be a couple of more days than 30, but from the 18th to the 18th, right? So you're going to do May 18th through June 18th. All right, and so you'll select a goal, and then there's going to be some other activities that you do within that I'm not going to tell because you need to get it. So that'll be that. So that is going to release on, again, that's going to come out on the 15th. All right, so I'll need to do a couple of things right here. Create document. And so again, this is how I will get started for tomorrow. So my tomorrow is already planned, the things that I need to do, and then I go from there. And once I finish that, I move on to the next. So if you've never thought about this approach, maybe you can try it out tomorrow. Just take a sheet of paper. You can even do it on a sticky note and just stick it like on your desk. So if you've had to start working from home and you're trying to adjust and you're like, oh, I just don't have no rhythm, I don't know what to do, perhaps start there. Start with a sticky note, a sticky pad. Write down what you need to do. So again, let's just say I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep this closed, but in the morning I want to see the top 3 things that I want to do tomorrow. Let's start with the top 3 things. So tomorrow is the 13th. So you may want to put your date down And so this is just showing you all different ways that you can plan without being inside of a planner. Something that's going to keep you on task, because I don't know about y'all. Sometimes for me, let me switch to this black pen. Sometimes for me, if I have too much in front of me and it's a planner, yeah, I'm going to play. Okay, I'm just going to call it what it is. Sometimes I play in my planners and I don't get nothing done. So sometimes I need something small. So we're going to do May 13th. All right, and we're going to do our top 3. And this is simply going to be for the morning, right? It doesn't mean that one is more important than the next. It's just going to be, what can I knock out? What are the top 3 things that I can knock out in the morning? And I can go ahead and pay my car note. And insurance. And then I can print that shipping label that I need to print out. And then, so that's that. And then I can also do that Patreon post in the morning. All right, so those are things that can already be done. Top 3. Most of this will be done before 10 o'clock, right? And so truth be told, my Patreon post can actually be curated tonight and scheduled to go out at the time that I want it to go out, right? So if there's anything that you can do tonight before the morning starts to prepare you for the next day, then you want to go ahead and do that. You don't want to wait till the morning comes and it's like, oh man, what was it that I had to do? Or let's take it a step further. Many of you have already set your planner up for the week, but you have not opened your planner back up. So it's like, baby girl, like what are we doing? For me, I have a cutesy planner and then I have stuff like this, right? So let's just make sure that you're getting things done. You know, while we're in this stage that we're in, if there were areas, so let's just take it here. Let's say you're working from home now and you've gotten word that your office may open up in June, the middle of June. Perhaps you want to change your schedule now before you get back to work, right? We don't want to get back to work still screaming, I hate Mondays and all of this stuff that you were talking about before. You want to now take the opportunity to change your mindset, change your habits, change your routine, and change your structure so that you're in a better situation, right? So maybe this will be something that you take going back into work. Before you leave work the day before. So even when I used to work in corporate, before I left work, I did this. Like I used to use, I've always used sticky notes, notepads, and stuff like that. I would finish up whatever I finished. Hey, how are you doing, Shanita? And let's say I did not finish anything, but that needed to be in my top 3. I used to do top 3 to top 5 when I worked in corporate. So I would finish up what I can. If I couldn't finish something, those would definitely be in my top 3. And then I would have whatever needed to be the next thing in line, right? So that's what you want to consider. So maybe that's something that you need to do. And then when you finish work, tidy up your area so that you can find everything that you need. So I'll let y'all know, like, prior to me getting my craft room back in order, I was chaotic. I couldn't get stuff done. Some of you all have probably seen me do more with Journal Jot and Jive than you have seen doing in the last year or 2, right? And a lot of that has to do with decluttering my mind, decluttering my space to get stuff done, resuming things that I know that worked, making a list, having the things that I needed to do, reaching out, having my weekly conference calls with my friends to hold ourselves accountable and stuff like that. So again, as we head back into whatever we're about to head back into, the new normal, make sure you take some new habits that are going to get you further along, and let's try not to revert back to what did not work, right? So tonight, I'm going to give y'all an assignment, right? So tonight you want to create your list for tomorrow. The top things that you want to get done. It does not have to be super, super long. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to get done, go ahead and write it down. All right. And then if you have a sticky notepad, you want to write the top things that you need to get done for tomorrow. Start with your top 3, and then you can add them on. Remember, I pulled my top 3 from this right here. I didn't go and create anything extra. I took off of this list, what can I go ahead and get done? Now, if you want to take that a step further, you can set a mini goal. Many people think goals have to be so astronomical and so big for you to be successful. Stop it. Let's not, okay? So we're going to set a mini goal. Your mini goal for tomorrow is for your top 3 things, put a deadline on it. Many people do not reach their goals because you don't have a deadline. You have a goal without a plan. You have a goal without a task. You have a task without a deadline, which means you're just on a merry-go-round, going in circles, talking about what you're going to do and you ain't doing nothing, right? So again, you have a goal. Every goal has a task. Every task has a deadline, and every deadline is not going to be long-term. So for this, we have a top 3. We have our tasks, are these 3 things. And now we're going to set a deadline to these 3 things being completed, right? So the goal is to have this completed by 10 a.m. So our goal is to complete by 10 a.m. All right. So as you see, our goal is not crazy. It's not all like go save the world. It's simply get these 3 things done by 10 a.m. All right. And so after you get those 3 things done by 10 a.m., you're good to go. All right. So then we'll just close this up. All right. We'll close that up. I can either stick it on here or I can stick it right here by my computer. So when I get ready to start, it's there. And if that doesn't stick, because sometimes sticky notes do not stick down, y'all. It just is what it is. Put some on there, just as long as you can see it. You want it in your view. All right. So I'm going to stick that right there. And then I'm going to put that up. And so this was my notebook. This is where the ideas go. This is where the journal prompts are that I started on. Yeah, I'm so excited about those new journal prompts. It's going to be fun. All right, and then we're going to create a journal page real quick. And I'm going to turn it right here. All right, so today's journal prompt is called adjustment. All right, today was super long, y'all. It was super long with some mishaps, but I got everything together. But it wasn't all perfect. So if you ordered your shirts, everybody's shirts are out the door. Okay, all the way out the door. But I started using a different shipping system, okay? And so here's a little story about Renee. I don't always like to read stuff like I should. Especially when it's new. I be like, oh, I'm gonna figure this out. I got this. Well, your friend didn't have it like she thought she had it. So let's just say I had 13 orders and I put the wrong postage and I had to go back and cancel out 13 sets of orders and reprint and repay for some postage. So I had a cute little expensive thing happen today. I mean, I'll be refunded for that other postage, but that ain't the point. Sorry, I couldn't talk and do that at the same time. Hey, Tammy. So yeah, just know that I drove all the way to the post office, all confident, right? And I was putting stuff in the little bin, and she was like, "Girl, you know you ain't supposed to put that in the bin like that stuff gets stuck." And then she said, "Now, Ross, yeah, okay, because that's how much I am at the post office that they know me by name. Even with the mask on, she knows who I am. So she was like, this ain't right." So I had to take 13 packages back home, and I had set a goal, y'all. Now I am goal driven, right? So my goal was these orders are going out, right? So the shirts were scheduled to go out on the 19th, but I am a very overzealous person. So I'm like, if I can get stuff out earlier, I'm gonna get it out earlier. So you know, I was grooving. I was like, yes, I'm in there. No. So, mind you, I get anxiety when I have to go somewhere. Okay. So, I had to build up the nerve, put on the mask, get everything together just to go to the post office, which is not far. Drop this stuff off. And she just, you know, hurt my little feelings because I had to come all the way home. Now, there was another, I don't know how many other orders, but let's just say half of the batch, or a good percentage was able to go, but then I had to come back. So, you know, I was a little flustered. I got my little attitude together because guess what? It wasn't her fault. It was mine because if I would have read, I would have known. And so I called her again because this is how cool I am with the people at the post office. I called her and I was like, hey, I mean, I called her by her name, but I was like, hey, okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this right now. And she was like, but you ain't ever got this wrong. You must be using a new system. And I was like, yeah. So needless to say, I got it right and I still met my goal of getting all orders out before 3 o'clock. But the fact that I had to get in my car and go back to that post office again, that was a whole lot. Anxiety was on a million. But just know that I love y'all, okay? For me to go back out twice in one day for y'all. And I'm glad I didn't schedule a pickup because my little feelings would have been so hurt when they would have been like, yeah, but we ain't gonna be able to do nothing with this. So needless to say, orders are out. I dealt with my anxiety. So that was my win for the day. All right, so let's find us a sticker to put on here. So for your journal, let's do the date. How about that? For your journals, if you haven't tried stickers yet, you can. They won't bite. Today is May 12th. Hey, Pine. Pine, I ain't gonna be able to stamp today. I don't have my stamps set up over here yet. I'll have them set up by the next live. Because I have another storage thing that I can put them in now. All right, so we got May 12th. Today we talked about adjustments. So let's see what I want to put on here. I don't want to use my last spark. I think that's my last spark. Let's see what we're gonna use. So because today was so yes, I had an adjustment and yes, I was a little frustrated, but it wasn't a not so good day, right? So y'all remember I told y'all don't date my journal entries if the day is not so good. Today wasn't necessarily not a not so good moment. It just was a girl, what is you doing? What are you doing? Team too much moment. So I will keep that there. And in a weird way, I like this because it's kind of like Army, and I felt like, you know, for me to get out the house was like a fight. It was just like a struggle. So you know, we're gonna make this go. I ain't using the whole thing though. And I'm working with limited pens over here because I don't have all my other pens. Thanks, Dana. I'm glad you're here too. All right, let's add us a little border. All right, and so in this section, this will be where I do my journal entry, which could probably turn into 2 pages if I wanted it to. Don't know if I do. And then I want to create a section over here for my win per day. I'm not quite sure how many of you all make it a point to show some gratitude, even if it's not daily, but at least at some point throughout the week. You want to put gratitude somewhere, right? So when you are in your journal, everything does not seem so dim, all right? Even if it's like some moments are not going that great, you want to dig as deep as you can and find that one moment that is working, right? So I want that to be a center focus. So even if I do my journal entry right here, right, and I'm going to have my gratitude or my win in the middle, I can still write around that. So we're going to highlight our win. So if you're journaling along with me, you have your date, whatever your topic is going to be, you can put it wherever you want. So adjustments is my focal point for my journal entry today, right? Because remember I told you I had to adjust. I had to adjust as far as learning the new system. I also had to adjust because I had to go out the house twice, okay? Twice. And then I also adjusted in areas with like revamping my Journal Jot and Jive site, just how I'm looking at my business overall. These are adjustments. So that's kind of what will be built into my journal entry. And then we want to focus on a win for the day. You may want to title it Thankful Tuesday. I did a post on my main Facebook page that talked about, you know, me being thankful. And I can openly tell you what that is. So I genuinely miss not being able to do hair right now. And I'm not able to do hair by choice. All right. By choice for safety, just waiting some things out. But I am also thankful that I have Journal Jot and Jive in place. And it has actually done really, really well. It's increasing every week. My creativity is increasing. My vision is increasing. And a lot of things that I already had in motion are coming to the surface now. So I'm super excited about that. So that was like my Thankful Thursday. So that's what I mean by like, what are you thankful for? It doesn't have to be super grand. But that is one thing that I'm like, you know what? Girl, things are turning around. So we are going to do a Thankful Thursday. I'm going to highlight that. What other highlighter do we have? Let's pull this one out. I mean, not Thursday. Did I just say Thursday, y'all? I meant Tuesday if I said Thursday. Y'all know we can't keep these days together. Hey, how are you? And if you've been sitting on here listening to me ramble this long, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It costs you absolutely nothing. It helps me, though. It helps, you know, me be discovered here on YouTube. I was like, yeah, I felt, Winona, I felt that. I was like, did I just say Thursday? I sure did. It ain't Thursday, girl. All right, so let's do us a little vine. As many of you all know, I have been buying a lot of plants. So we're going to create us a little plant vine. So I've even been into drawing the little plant vines. All right, so let me bend this over. Y'all see I'm almost out of this journal. And then we'll be able to start our next one, which is Stalogy B6. I've had her for a minute. So we should be in that Stalogy actually this week. That's probably going to be one of the videos that my pre-recorded videos setting it up. A little secret to your vine, if you're like, oh girl, how do you do that? I can't do this, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Just draw a little squiggly line, and then you're creating like a heart. That's what's making it look like it's a leaf. So before you tell yourself you can't do something, just try it. If you are new to journaling, no, you don't have to do all of this to journal. If your goal is to get started, we just want you to pull out a notebook, piece of paper, whatever you need to pull out, and you can write, I am worth it. That can be your first journal entry. I am worth it, okay? So you are worth every thought that you have and all good thoughts as well. Your journal is not going to be, it should not be monotone. It should be the great, the good, and the not so good, okay? If your journal is sounding like everything is broken, you want to consciously think about some things that can be written that will change that, right? So, as we said today, in the midst of whatever your journal entry is today, you want to put a focal point for one thing that you're thankful for. You may be thankful for some additional things. You can write more than one, but at minimum today during your reflection time, you want to make sure you write what are you thankful for, okay? So that'll go in that section. Let's see. And right now what I'm doing, y'all, is I'm just presetting mine up. It's very hard for me to kind of journal live with y'all. Like one day I can journal live, but I'll literally probably be quiet the whole time and y'all can see a page develop. And so this is going to be my setup. And so I'll go in and write, and that'll be my journal entry for today. You know what? I'm going to be a big girl, and I'm going to use this whole sheet. Sure am. And I actually like writing around stuff. So like if I'm doing a journal line and I can fit a little bit of a word, the word a or something like that, I love seeing like writing go around objects, pictures, things you draw. Kind of makes me happy. So for any of you all that have the trunk pieces and you're like, I just don't know what to do with them, you do what you want. You can fit it into a journal entry. You can put it into a book of clothing ideas that you want. Like let's just say you're on Pinterest. You can plug your board, and then when you get the outfit, wear it, take a picture, put it back, create a journal moment off of that too. So this is going to be our journal page, y'all. Let's see. That's pretty much gonna be it. I know this ain't our 60 minutes, but I wanted to show you how to take notes, how to get prepared for your day ahead, and how to kind of close out your day. If you want to journal daily, this is something that you can do. What is your focal point? You journal about that, and you good. Like, you good to go. Let's see. Let's do, is there anything else to recap? If you haven't already, you can check out the website. As I said, I have updated it. So you will now be able to find whatever I'm selling in reference. If it's t-shirts, if it's journal stuff, all journal prompts are now on there. The ones that I opted to move over when I release the new ones, they will be on there. No codes can be used on the journal prompts. Right now they're sitting at $8. They used to be $10. And you'll see kind of the slash between that. We started the blog on there, so I'll start updating. And what else is there? I think that's pretty much it as far as that's concerned. The new journal prompts will be released this Friday. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page on journaljotandjive.com, and that's where you can sign up so you make sure that you get any notifications on what's coming up, what's coming out. If I decide to send an email before everybody else has access, you would get it that way. And I think that is it, y'all. I think the next time we go live, I'll show you all my plant journal that I'm going to create. I already had the notebook, but I'm going to have a separate journal and notebook for my plants. And I'm going to take photos of each. So maybe we can do that live on there. Like, I can cut some of the stuff up and post it. Like, it's going to be a creative journal still. And that'll be how I track my plants. So some of you all have been able to see some of the plants in the Instagram photos, and I still have some that you have not seen just yet. So we'll do that. I'll talk to y'all about the names. I haven't named all of them yet, but pretty much every plant will have a name. And so that's been pretty cool. That's been therapeutic during this time. And that's that. All right. So make sure y'all open those journals. If anybody can benefit from this video, I am going to keep this up. And, you know, get your journal on, get your planning on, get some goals accomplished. You can do it. Don't feel like your goal has to be massive. Start where you are. When we come on here, if you all have questions, make sure you ask. There's no wrong question. If you have a question about how to journal, if you saw something that I did and it's like, oh my goodness, I want to learn how to do that. Closed mouth doesn't get fed. You know, just ask. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Don't worry about what somebody's gonna think. Don't worry about, oh, they gonna say you on her page. Yeah, we grown. We grown. If you need to learn some new things, learn now. If anything during this time we haven't learned, life is short, and move on. Heal and move on. That's what we're here for. Okay, so like I said, those new journal prompts will be coming out Friday. And the journal prompts after that, y'all, I am going to do friendship. We were supposed to release that before, but everything happened. It was just too much going on. But I do know I want to do the friendship prompts after the my growing pains. And the reason I want to do that, yeah, I know I watch social media. A couple of people have a tendency to say, you know, remember who was there for you during this. Y'all know. Friendship should not be based on a tragedy and how people are handling things, okay? So we're definitely going to have some journal prompts about that, so some healing can happen, some reevaluations on how you are as a person and a friend, and if some chapters need to be closed and some new ones need to be opened, all right? So that's that. I enjoyed you all, and I will check y'all out on the next one.